Today, I will be using a full team of Pokemon based on characters from Monsters vs. Aliens. Special thanks to Leanne's LEGO Productions for the team idea. If you have an idea for a Pokemon team, be sure to comment below, and I will use it. And if you like this kind of content, feel free to subscribe. And now, without further ado, let's get right into the battles. Good morning, afternoon, and evening, lovely people. Today I am using a Monsters vs. Aliens team. I think this is the first team based on a movie that I've ever done on this channel, so that's pretty neat. So I have two really insane battles in this video to showcase, and I hope you enjoy them. So the Cinderace is going to lead off versus my lead Grubbin. I'm using this Pokemon again. I thought it was like the best fitting Pokemon for Insectosaur, I believe his name is, or Insecto. So I'm gonna Thunder Wave the Cinderace. I actually have a Sticky Web lead Grubbin, but Cinderace obviously has access to Court Change, so I didn't really want Sticky Webs appearing on my side, although I do have Rapid Spin support. I wanted to make sure I was KO'd before the Cinderace ever got a chance to Court Change, but I paralyzed the Cinderace. So I was like, okay, well, I have Mud Shot on this. At least I can hit it. It gets paralyzed for the second turn in a row. I'm like, there's no way I could take this out, right? So going for that third Mud Shot, it just misses the KO on the Cinderace. I get another speed drop, and Cinderace eats a Citrus Berry. I'm like, okay, interesting that it has a Citrus Berry. I thought it would be more than likely running a Boots on it, and I get 3 paralysis in a row. What is happening right now? Griffin is gonna go for the Mud Shot. I actually land all my Mud Shots, and I'm able to 1v1 a Cinderace. What the heck? Who could have thought that Grubbin could have 1v1 a Cinderace? I didn't even think I would get it. I didn't even think I would win that matchup. What the heck? Only on this channel. So, Pikachu is gonna come in. I'm actually gonna be able to outspeed it since I'm running a max speed Grubbin, but I'm running a Modest Nature, and the Pikachu has a Citrus Berry too. What is this? So, a Pikachu is more than likely going to take me out with any sort of move, so it's just going to go for the Thunderbolt and take out my Grubbin. But, wow, my Grubbin put in way too much work. It did so overtime. Although, to be fair, I did get a lot of paralysis in a row. So, into Feraligatr here for Missing Link. Missing Link is, I almost called him Milking Link. What? Missing Link is really hard character to designate a Pokemon to, just because he's like a fish-human alien monster kind of hybrid. So I thought Feraligatr kind of worked best for that, just because Feraligatr is also like an aquatic creature, plus like it's like, you know, standing on its hind legs and everything. So into my Kricketot versus this Iron Leaves, they actually go for Solar Blade. I'm like, oh, this is such a dream matchup because I'm running a max defense Kricketot. Amazing. So the Iron Leaves is gonna go for that Solar Blade. I'm taking that hit, and I'm gonna go for the Bug Bite here. I was thinking, are they gonna run Citrus Berry on this too? And they do. They have Citrus Berry on this. Oh my goodness. So I'm gonna eat that Citrus Berry, and it's like that Solar Blade did next to nothing almost. So the Iron Leaves is gonna go for the Psy Blade here. Man, I'm taking these hits, this max defense with a Violet. I'm gonna go for the Pounce, and I take out the Iron Leaves with a crit. Oh my goodness. Somehow in this battle, I got a KO with both Kricketot and Grubbin. What is happening? So the Miraidon is gonna come in. No more messing around at this point. I was like, okay, well, there's no way I'm gonna be able to do anything versus this thing. On this set, I have this is a really interesting set. Even though Kricketot gets barely any moves, I have Endeavor on this, so if I ever get like on a low amount of health because I'm running max defense, I could be able to Endeavor any like Pokemon that comes in, and hopefully like get it down to where one of my other Pokemon can revenge KO it. So I'm gonna bring in my Tentacruel. I have a Ditto on this team, but this Miraidon is at like -2 special attack, so I needed to weaken it, and I thought, well, this Tentacruel might be the perfect candidate. Look at me take that hit. I'm actually running a max special defense Tentacruel with an Assault Vest. So it's actually really bulky on the special side. And the moves I had in this are Rapid Spin. I needed Rapid Spin support. I had Ice Beam, Giga Drain with Terra Grass, and I have a Sludge Bomb on this. Now, I really wish I could have fit like Knockoff on this or like a Water move. But like I needed like Rapid Spin and I needed like Giga Drain because just Grass is just such a good option like defensively. And obviously I wanted to keep my Poison and my Ice coverage for this Pokemon. So there goes my Tentacruel, but I was able to weaken the Miraidon at the very least. Now into my my Florges here for Ginormica. Man, if only I was playing this team on Sword and Shield, I could have been able to Dynamax this. That would have been really fitting. So The Miraidon is gonna do nothing to me. I think it's at like -4, and also Florges has like really good defense, special defense. So there goes the Miraidon to the Moonblast. I'm running a really bulky Florges. This is a max defense Florges. Here comes Annihilate though, and Annihilate is gonna be affected by the Sticky Web, and it has the Defiant ability, so I was like, oh no, it's gonna get a +2 in attack. This thing is gonna be really threatening. So I'm gonna go for the Psychic Noise. I'm running a Calm Mind Psychic Noise set, and I have a Key Berry on this, but Annihilate is gonna go for the Rage Fist, and even though I'm max defense, I am not taking that hit whatsoever. That's a 100 base power Rage Fist with a +2 attack Annihilate. No way I was living that. But thought, okay, this is the perfect opportunity for me to copy them and send in my Ditto for Bob. I think I accidentally messed up the nickname on this. I just called it Bob, but it was meant to be like B-O-B. I thought it was just regular Bob. So there goes the Annihilate. I now copied their +2 in attack, and I'm gonna go for the Rage Fist and take out the other Annihilate. And the last Pokemon is a Basculegion. I was really threatened by this Pokemon in the back because of course it has last specs. Now I'm not exactly sure if Ditto copies the base power of Rage Fist, because I don't know if currently I have a 50 base power Rage Fist or if I have a 100 base power Rage Fist because I copied the opposing Annihilate, or if I just have 50 just because I'm a regular Ditto and it didn't take any damage. So I'm going to outspeed the Basculegion. It's Terra Ghost, but there is no way it's living the Rage Fist, and that's going to be the end of the first game. Man, I can't believe that Grubbin did that much work, and Kricketot too. That was a crazy game. So insane. Now, this game is definitely a lot more serious. It doesn't have like Miraidon or like Citrus Berry Pikachu. Amazing. So this game was also really good though. So there's gonna be the lead Dragapult. I'm gonna lead Ditto this time into Dragapult because I anticipated this Pokemon to want to potentially lead, and like I didn't want to have my Grubbin lead off versus like a potential Dragon Dart. So I'm gonna U-turn. I honestly thought that they would like swap out into their Corviknight. So their Dragapult is like a fully physical set. It's like Dragon Darts. It's Phantom Force, and it has U-turns. So I was like, okay, well I have a good switch in into my my Florges here. I could at the very least tank a Dragon move. So it wasn't like a bad U-turn at the very least. And my Key Berry is gonna get activated by the U-turn. So I'm running a Key Berry on this. I'm running a defensive, like fully max defense Florges. I couldn't really find like the best Pokemon for Ginormica, so I thought that Florges was okay just because it also like the white flower Florges specifically looks more like the hair, like Ginormica's hair. Like I looked at all of the like Pokemon with the black and white color scheme or like a white color scheme, and this was the best Pokemon that I could come up with. So in comes Iron Moth. It's gonna get a booster energy and special attack, and I just gonna go for the Calm Minds now. I thought, okay, well, I should be able to do some really good damage for the Psychic Noise. I should tank the Sludge Wave, and I do some good damage. I do like half damage to this thing. Now, I didn't really want to lose my Florges just yet, so I thought, well, unfortunately, I feel like I'm gonna have to sack up my Kricketot here, Dr. Cockroach. There really isn't any Cockroach Pokemon except for like Pheromosa, which isn't in this game, and I would have chosen Blipbug, but Blipbug is also not in this game either. So I had to go with Kricketot, and that's the color scheme the best, and it's just a little bug anyway. So into my Grubbin here. Now I thought, okay, this might be a really good opportunity for me to potentially get a KO with Mudshot. I didn't really think Sticky Webs were super valuable in this game just because they have a Corviknight, they have a Rotom, and like they have potential Clear Body Dragapult. So going for that Mudshot. Oh, Mudshot just barely misses the KO. No, I was like, okay, well, hopefully I outspeed, and I do. Somehow I outspeed it. What the heck? And I'm gonna take out the Iron Moth with the Grubbin. Grubbin gets another KO against another Fire Type. What is happening right now? Wigglypon, if you're watching this, I hope you're getting some enjoyment out of this Grubbin putting in so much work. Now, I'm going to bring in my Tentacle, and the Rotom is going to come in. Now, I was like, okay, well, I can get some good Giga Drain chip on this. They go for Volt Switch, and that does a lot of damage to me. I'm like, remember, I'm max special defense with an Assault Vest, so I'm like, okay, that Pokemon is definitely Choice Specs. Like, there's no way it's like any other item. So I thought, okay, well, I'm going to swap out my Tentacle versus this Corviknight because I really can't do much to it at all. So I'm going to bring in my Grubbin again, and they're going to go for the Iron Defense. So I'm like, yeah, this Pokemon is going to be a real nuisance to deal with. I don't exactly have the cleanest way to deal with it, but I do have the Thunder Wave Paralysis on my Grubbin. So I'm going to paralyze that Corviknight. Hopefully that should give me more of an opportune setup versus it, because I'm going to bring in my Florges after to hopefully deal with this. Because I imagine that this is like a fully physically defensive Corviknight. And I do have like this Florges, which has Psychic Noise to prevent like healing, so it's actually a really good way to break like to break these kind of defensive Pokemon like this. So going for the synthesis against the Corviknight, and the Corviknight is going to go for the body press, and that really isn't going to do too much. Now, I figured, okay, well, they would have to be like max defense, like +6 in defense, in order to really threaten me. So I'm just going to set up my Calm Minds versus this Pokemon, try to do as much damage as I possibly can. They get paralyzed. I'm like, okay, that's good. I got a free Calm Mind. Now, they didn't really have any Moonblast switches either, so I thought if I just pressed like Moonblast like at random turns and random intervals, they're like I might catch them off guard on a switch in, but they're gonna continuously set up iron defenses. Now I'm gonna set up my Calm Minds versus this thing just because I knew that Moonblast wasn't gonna be doing too much unless I obviously boosted, because all of my moves are resisted by this Corviknight, or rather, yeah, my Moonblast and my Psychic Noise are not very effective to this. But now I'm at +2, and that Moonblast does a lot of damage to the Corviknight. But they, of course, have a Citrus Berry. I'm like, no, that ruins things. I would have KO'd with the next Moonblast. Now I have to go for, like, another, like, Moonblast. Or maybe I should go for a Psychic Noise. They get paralyzed again. I'm like, what is happening right now? So I'm going to go for the Psychic Noise. This is just in case they decided to roost this turn. I thought that it was best, and I would put it in range of the Moonblast the next turn at the very least. And they get paralyzed 3 times in a row. What the heck? My Grumman's paralysis has been crazy. I don't even know what I put in it. So there goes the Corviknight to the Moonblast. That's how you 1v1 a Steel type with a Fairy type, by the way. Just get really lucky. So, oh my goodness. I can't believe the paralysis luck that I've been getting. So, in comes the Chanpound. Now, if I haven't stated this Terra on this, I have Terra Steel on this. So, I thought, well, I'm gonna Terrasilize into a Steel type. I figured that this Chanpound might be running Focus Sash. Maybe it's running Heavy Duty Boots. Maybe it's running Life Orb. So I Terrasilize it to a Steel type. Icicle Crash doesn't do anything, and it does have a Focus Sash. So I'm like, okay, well, it's more than likely that a Sacred Sword is coming my way. I obviously don't want to really lose this Florges because it's a really good, it's like a really good answer to the Dragapult in the back. So into my Feraligatr here. Now, I haven't explained this set. I'm running a Dragon Dance Feraligatr. I'm able to take the Sacred Sword, and they're gonna go for the Sucker Punch, and I live! I'm like, yes! Feraligator's natural bulk saved me, and I'm gonna go for the Liquidation, and I'm gonna take out the Champow. I think I just hiccuped just now. Now, I'm running a Terra Normal on this with Body Slam. Body Slam is actually a really interesting move on this. With Life Orb and Sheer Force, the Normal plus Water coverage is able to hit a lot of Pokemon really hard, especially off of Feraligator's Sheer Force and just naturally really strong attack stats. So I'm gonna get taken out there by the U-turn from the Dragapult. Wait, did I say that I was running Terra Normal like this? I think I did. My memory is not really that great. So into my my Tentacle there, I'm gonna get some more chip damage on this Rotom with the Giga Drain. I'm at the very least gonna be able to recover a lot of health versus it, just because, you know, Rotom doesn't have the best HP stat, and they're gonna go for the Trick. So I was like, oh, they're gonna trick me a Choice Specs, but they're gonna get an Assault Vest. So at the very least, they're not going to be able to go for Trick anymore because of the Assault Vest. But at the same time, they just lived my Giga Drain because of the Assault Vest. I'm like, no. Oh my goodness. So now I'm locked into Choice Spec Giga Drain, which isn't really bad considering that Tentacle doesn't actually have a bad like special attack stat. It actually doesn't have a bad speed stat either. So Rotom is going to go for the Volt Switch, which does like the same amount of damage that it did to me prior. And in comes the Dragapult. Now, I almost swapped in my Florges this turn, but I thought if they went for Phantom Force, like that wouldn't have been like really worth it, because I think I would have just like swapped in my Tentacle afterwards anyway. But I definitely should have swapped in my Florges that turn. But either way, I'm gonna swap in my Florges now, and I know that their only like physical move to really do damage to me is a Phantom Force. So I could take advantage of that by going for the Synthesis while they're in the shadows, and then Revenge KO this when they come out, and take them out with the Moonblast. Now, the Phantom Force is going to do like a good chunk of my health, but I'm max defense, so I'm able to tank that at the very least, and their Life Orb. So I'm gonna go for that Moonblast and take out the Dragapult. So I was like, okay, that's really good. They have one more Pokemon in the back that I'm like pretty intimidated by, and it's another Basculegion, but this time it's the E-Girl version. So I was like, okay, it's a female Basculegion this time, and they're actually gonna Terrasilize, and it's another, what is the odds? It's another Terra Ghost Basculegion, but this time it's like the opposite gender. Amazing. So the Basculegion is obviously gonna go for the last respects. It starts at 50 base power, but gets like plus 50 for every Pokemon that's fainted. So at this point, it's at like 250 base power. So I'm not living that even with max defense. But I do have my Ditto in the back, my Choice Scarf Ditto. I actually have a Terra Ghost on this Pokemon as well, which came in handy in quite a few battles. Now, I now copied this Basculegion, and I was like, yep, unless they're Choice Scarf themselves, I have a 100% chance to outspeed them, and I'm going to take them out with the last respect. It's going to be so strong. Actually, if you made it this far in the video, I will say that this Saturday's video, I'm also going to be using a Last Respects Basket Legion of my own. It's going to be crazy. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. These battles were absolutely funny, and I hope you enjoyed them. My name is SkyLaaa. Don't forget to smile, and I will see you all next time.